Look, live streaming isn't for everyone. Yes, I said it and I stand by it. Live streaming requires serious planning, scripting, run of show, tech requirements, engaging with your audience while you're streaming, a bazillion back-end things, and you could do all of this and no one could show up. But you still have to go hard as if you're live streaming to a million people.
You also have to be live. Like, no life can happen, the internet needs to be operating perfectly, kids need to be quiet, dogs need to not bark at the Amazon delivery guy.
And you have to do every week, all the time, because your audience and the algorithm requires it. It's not easy or for the faint of heart, which is why so many people don't do it. And you know what? That is okay. But Streamyard is a killer tool that you can use to do so many other things that have nothing to do with live streaming. And between you and me, I rarely use it to live stream, but I use it all of the time for not live streaming. Let me share with you 5 ways I use Streamyard without going live. Take action now. Hi, my name is Desiree. If you're looking to grow your business with better social media and content marketing, take action now. Hit that subscribe button and the bell below. I have been a Streamyard user for a long time, like back in the beta testing phases when it was just Gage and Dan, making magic one obsessed user at a time. This was before they had a team of customer service reps, engineers, a marketing team. They weren't even acquired yet. So when I say I have been around for a while and been live streaming for a while, I really mean it. And as my journey as a creator has evolved and changed, I don't find myself live streaming all too often. I'll join others on live streams like the Streamyard team and vidIQ, but mainly I'm using Streamyard as a recording studio for my YouTube channel and podcast Women of Video. Let's deep dive into the 5 ways that I have found to use Streamyard that has nothing to do with live streaming. The first one is recording for the replay. This is actually how I'm recording this video right now. I am in Streamyard and I'm just recording this video. I have my whole setup situation, which is super nice, which allows for it to look really good quality, but I like using it because it gives me a couple of different options. One, I can just download it when I'm ready and I get the download for the video and the audio as separate files. Additionally, if I ever want to do this as like an interview situation, which is how I use it for the Women in Video podcast, is I'm able to have all the people I'm going to invite come on, and then again, I can download it and I can have that video where I'm not only changing who's in the full screen and not in the full screen, I can add in any video overlays or show their YouTube channel and stuff like that on the video. But when I download it, I also get it for video and for audio, which is really helpful. Additionally, if I plan out my videos right, I can really minimize editing by using the replay. So I script out a good portion of my video so I could read my script, and then I could also have a producer on the back end, or even myself, where I can have these pre-planned overlays and video graphics and sharing my screen come up, and it makes it really easy for me to create my videos very easily and cost effectively. I do have an editor on my team, and then she's also able to take these videos and edit them as well, but the more I can minimize needing to outsource things, the better it is for my bottom line, and the easier it is for me to create and churn out the amount of content that I'm creating. Now, one of the cool things about using Streamyard is you can add in slides. So if you have a course that you want to teach, if you have a presentation that you're doing, you can do it super easy in Streamyard. So then you can record it again as a replay, and then you can have your course loaded up, whether it is through the slides or through a screen share or even as individual overlays. And then you can kind of have them in there working. What I like about using slides is I'm on the side, and then my screen here is full of the other information that I need, I'm trying to do the slide. And then I also can just make the slide full screen and minimize myself, which is good for when I'm having a no makeup day or I need to take a drink or something like that. And so it's really nice to be able to do that. So I can do this for courses and tutorials and anything else where I'm demonstrating something because of that slides feature in Streamyard. And this might be reaching for you as you're well, Desiree, you needed to come up with this one for the 5th one. No, seriously, you can use Streamyard as an alternative to Zoom or doing any sort of video meetings. You can just go in to Streamyard, create a link, and invite people to come into it. And then you can use one link for a whole day. And maybe you want to do it so you want to record what's happening. If you are sharing your screen, you are doing stuff. Yes, you can do this on Zoom. but it requires a paid version, where with StreamYard, if you have the free version, you can like do this now. And you don't have like that 45-minute time limit that Zoom gives to you. I just think it's another way to like level up and have fancies. Like you can have your branding on there. It can look really nice with overlays. You can have names on there very nicely. It just, I think, gives a level of like better quality to your conference call, and it just looks really nice. And of course you can record it, that way you have it in case you need to reference it for a future date, or send it to the person that you're talking to, like maybe if you're doing a coaching call or something. Good to consider for that alternative to Zoom. Now, I mentioned before that I use StreamYard to record my podcast 1 minute video, and it's a really good way to do that. And that's why I say recording or filming your podcast can be done here on StreamYard. A lot of things are moving towards video podcasting. We have YouTube is making a big investment into creating almost a podcast only tab on YouTube. Anchor allows for you to use videos, then it shows up on Spotify. And there's just a lot of like value in having a video podcast for those people that would prefer to watch, or maybe you have like a very visual, demonstrative sort of podcast and then you want to be able to have that. So by using StreamYard, you're able to really level up and add this new media form for you. And again, like I said, when you download your file, you can not only download the video, but you can download the audio separate. And if you have guests, it'll download separate audio tracks for all of your guests. And this is super helpful from an audio perspective, because let's say I'm having this really fantastic conversation and my dog barks, or like an ambulance goes by or something. If I have the separate audio tracks and like that's happening while the other person is talking, we can remove my sound from the video or from the audio, and that way it's not interfering with the audio. So it works really nicely from a podcasting perspective. And then again, if you want to live stream your podcast live, you can, but you also can just like record your podcast as like record for the replay. I'm a big advocate for being able to create custom thumbnails and custom marketing materials. So you can use StreamYard as a way to record thumbnails and GIFs. Now, I want you to track with me on this. So when I'm creating my thumbnails, one of the things I do separate, so I do my full YouTube video, and then I go through like the faces situation to create my thumbnail. So I'll do like these things. Ooh, wow. And so like I can record them in StreamYard so that I can have them to send to the thumbnail team so they can create it. You could do this too. You also can do this for GIFs. GIFs are a fantastic way to communicate with your community. So even if you go live and you want to create some GIFs to reply to all the comments that you have during the live stream, maybe a funny saying happens or something happens, you can use the videos to create GIFs that you can upload to Tenor or to Giphy, and then you can just reply in the comments with your own GIFs. And having your own GIF library is so fun because other people beyond you will use it. I can't tell you how many times I get my Facebook friends will message me like, oh my gosh, it's a screenshot of some random person from some random poster group with like my face doing something from a GIF. And so it's one of those really fun ways to like build better brand awareness and build like better connection with your audience. So you can use StreamYard to record your GIFs, record your thumbnails so that you can use them for other parts of your marketing. Now, I have done a lot with recording and live streaming where I've had studios and sets in different technology situations from all over the world, and I finally have nailed what I'm going to be doing and how my set is going to look for the future. So I want you to watch this video I have for you right here. It's a full studio tour so you can see all of the different live streaming sets that I have set up for myself so that you can maybe find something that will work really good for you and hopefully kind of inspire you along the way. And watch this video here because YouTube thinks you are really going to like it. Until next time, I'll see you soon.